She's a disgrace. Don't let her show up to the family meeting. Ava stood outside the door and heard everything. Her sister's voice, her mother's silence, her father's cold agreement. All of it. Every word burned itself into her memory like acid. If your own blood ever turned on you, don't scroll. This story will break and rebuild you, like follow and stay, because what she becomes will silence every doubter. At just 19, Ava's life exploded. A private video, leaked without her consent, spread across campus and into the hands of her conservative, reputation-obsessed family. Instead of support, they threw her out like trash. Her father didn't say goodbye. Her mother cried, but still helped pack her things. And her sister? Isabella stood behind them all, pretending to look shocked. But Ava saw that tiny smirk. Her boyfriend ghosted her. Her college pulled her scholarship. Her church friends blocked her number. That night, she slept in a friend's car, freezing, humiliated, and completely alone. But sometimes, being thrown away is the beginning of something no one expects. Ava didn't cry the next morning. She walked into a diner, took the first waitress job they offered, and worked double shifts without blinking. By night, she studied immigration law using free library books and old YouTube lectures. She kept her name, not because she liked it, but because she swore one day they'd hear it again and regret ever spitting it out. Her 20s were war. She cleaned motels, sold thrift clothes online, ate ramen noodles every night. But she never stopped learning. She got certified, then licensed, then connected, then feared. Nobody noticed the girl with nothing, until she started helping others, who had nothing too. Single moms, detained workers, families being deported. Ava stood in courtrooms with a secondhand suit and a fire in her chest. Whispers started. Who's she? She's good. She fights like she has nothing to lose. Because she did. Years passed, and Ava built something powerful. Quietly, secretly. While the world, and her family, believed she disappeared, she was building a legal firm that helped thousands of unheard voices rise up. And then came the day everything came full circle. A headline popped up on her screen. Local. Senator's daughter, Isabella Rivera, faces evidence tampering charges. Ava stared, not in shock, but in silence. The sister who helped destroy her reputation was now the one drowning in scandal. Court hearings began. The media swarmed. Cameras flashed. Everyone wanted to see how the perfect Rivera family would survive this storm. On the third day of trial, Ava entered the courtroom. No press statement. No bodyguards. Just her. She sat quietly in the back row until the judge suddenly looked up from the documents, furrowed his brow, and said, "Wait, you're Ava Rivera?" He leaned forward. "You're the owner of Rivera Strategies?" A frozen silence fell over the room. Isabella turned. Her face went white. Her father, sitting 3 benches away, dropped his pen. Ava just smiled, and in that moment, the girl they called a disgrace became the woman they could never outrun. Isabella's lips parted, but no words came out. The courtroom felt like it had stopped breathing. The judge glanced back at the file in front of him, then back at Ava. "You're the owner of the consulting firm that submitted the evidence summary to this court?" Ava didn't blink. "Yes, Your Honor." The silence shattered into murmurs. A camera clicked. The prosecutor looked confused. Isabella looked like she'd seen a ghost. But Ava? She was ice. The judge leaned back, clearly surprised. "I wasn't aware Rivera Strategies had any personal connection to the defendant." Ava's eyes never left Isabella's. Neither was the defendant. Until now. Her words weren't loud, but they were sharp enough to slice through the courtroom like glass. Isabella's attorney stood up, panicked. Your Honor, may we request a recess? The judge granted it. Outside the courtroom, Isabella caught up to Ava near the hallway exit. "What are you doing?" she hissed, her voice shaking. "Why would you show up like this? You're making this worse!" Ava turned to her slowly, calm but unreadable. "Worse than being labeled a whore and kicked out by your own family? No one cared when I was drowning. I was young. I didn't leak that video." "No," Ava interrupted. "You just told Dad exactly where it was. You let him go through my phone. Don't act innocent now." Isabella's mouth fell open. "It was 10 years ago. And yet it still hurts like it was yesterday," Ava snapped, her eyes flashing. "You knew what you were doing. You knew what kind of man he was." Isabella's voice dropped to a whisper. "He's still our father." Ava leaned in slightly. "Exactly. Our father. But only one of us had to survive him." She turned to walk away, but Isabella grabbed her sleeve. "Why are you here? To destroy me? To humiliate us?" Ava stared down at her hand until Isabella let go. Then she said quietly, "I came to protect the people your family is still hurting." That night, the story exploded. News channels started tracing Rivera Strategies, the firm behind multiple high-profile cases against corrupt political figures. Anonymous sources claimed the firm was led by a woman who once lost everything to public shame. Comment sections lit up. "Wait, is Ava Rivera the sister? OMG, the scandal comes full circle. This woman is a beast. She rose from ashes." Back at her office, Ava stared at the screen. Her phone rang. Mom calling, she let it ring. Then, a message appeared. "Your father wants to meet. He's willing to talk. Please just come home." The same home that kicked her out. The same voices that once called her shameful. Now, they wanted peace. And part of her, a small aching part, still wanted to know why. She went, not to make peace, but to look them in the eyes. Inside the Rivera house, the walls were the same. So were the fake smiles. Her father stood at the head of the table like nothing ever happened. "You've built a reputation," he said, pouring tea like it was any other Sunday. "I'll admit, I didn't expect that." Her mother dabbed her eyes with a napkin. "We've all made mistakes, but we're still family." Ava looked down at her plate, then up. "I didn't come back for food or forgiveness. I came to say this. I'm filing a federal motion to hold your campaign committee legally accountable. The whistleblower, he's under my protection now." Her father's hands froze midair. "We can settle this quietly," he said, voice suddenly cold. "You don't want the media pulling up everything." Ava smiled, the same smile she wore the day they threw her out. "Pull it up. I'm not hiding anymore. That scared girl you disowned? She's gone." And as she stood to leave, her father's voice broke behind her. "You really built all that? On your own?" Ava didn't even turn. "No. I built it with the pain you gave me, and now I'm using it to bury everything you're still trying to hide." The next morning, Ava walked into her office to find a swarm of reporters outside. Microphones, cameras, flashes. They all wanted the same thing. "Ms. Rivera, are you testifying against your own family? Is it true your firm uncovered the missing evidence? Do you regret going public now?" She didn't say a word, just kept walking, stone-faced, while her staff held the line. But inside, her hands were shaking. Not from fear, but from the weight of finally standing where she used to dream of standing. In power, in control, in truth. Her assistant rushed in behind her. "The whistleblower's prepared to go public today. But there's a problem. His wife was threatened last night." Ava didn't even blink. "Increase security. I'll hold the press conference myself." By noon, the room was packed. She walked up to the podium. One spotlight, 2 cameras live. She looked down at her notes, then folded them away. I was 19 when my family disowned me, she said into the mic. They said I brought them shame, that I would ruin their name, that I didn't deserve to be one of them anymore. The crowd was silent. And yet, here we are. A decade later, they're on trial. And I'm here protecting the kind of people they used to silence. Gasps rippled through the room. Her voice didn't rise. It didn't need to. We are introducing a new legislative proposal to protect whistleblowers, not just from employers, but from families and political dynasties who believe power gives them the right to destroy lives. That line hit hard. Reporters exploded with questions, but Ava raised a hand. There's nothing else to say. The old version of me would have begged them to love her. This one, she's too busy fixing the damage they left behind. She turned and walked out. By nightfall, social media exploded with hashtags. Ava Rivera Rising family did her dirty. The owner returns, but at the Rivera estate, it was chaos. Her father paced, shouting at his aides. She's turning this into a war. Why didn't anyone tell me she had that much influence? Her mother cried in the hallway. Isabella sat alone in her room, reading the article Ava's firm had submitted, the one with her own forged emails and cover-ups. She knew the trial was over. Ava had won, and she hadn't even raised her voice. The next morning, Ava received another message. Please, just one last meeting. No cameras, just us. One final apology. Please. Mom, this time, she said yes. She showed up alone. They met at the local church, the same one that told her never to come back unless she cleaned herself up. Her mother sat in the last pew, trembling. Your father's campaign is dead. He might lose his Senate seat. Isabella's career is over. Ava just stared. And you? Her mother whispered. You're untouchable now. Why are you still angry? Ava's eyes welled up. Because you all left me to die. And now that I've become something you can't control, you want forgiveness. You want a version of me that makes you feel better about yourselves. Her mother reached for her hand. You don't have to carry this forever. I already did, Ava said, pulling away. For 10 years. Before she left, her mother looked up and asked the one question Ava never thought she'd hear. Did you ever stop loving us? Ava's jaw tightened. I stopped waiting for you to love me. And as she walked out of that church, the door didn't just close behind her. It locked a chapter her family would never be able to rewrite. 3 weeks later, Isabella took the stand for sentencing. She looked nothing like the polished senator's daughter Ava once knew. Makeup smeared, hands shaking, eyes hollow. But Ava didn't sit in the back this time. She sat front row. Isabella's voice cracked. I want to apologize to the court and to someone I betrayed when she needed me most. The judge nodded. Anything else? She turned, straight toward Ava. I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I hope one day you'll find peace. Ava didn't flinch, didn't cry, just watched the sister who once ruined her life finally feel what rock bottom tasted like. After court, reporters swarmed her again. Ava, did that apology mean anything to you? She looked straight at the camera. It's not about me. It's about never letting silence protect power again. That night, alone in her office, she opened a dusty folder labeled 2009 Rivera House Meeting. Inside was a single page, the list of reasons they kicked her out. She lit a match, watched it burn, and smiled, because this time, she was the one who ended the story. Months later, Ava stood on a small stage in Denver, holding the final draft of her bill. A room full of young women, activists, immigrants, and Survivors watched in silence as she spoke. This isn't just a law. It's a promise that no matter who tries to silence you, family, money, status, you will be protected. The crowd erupted. Somewhere in the back, a young girl whispered, "That's her, the one they called a disgrace." Her friend leaned closer. "No, that's Ava Rivera, the owner, the fighter, the one who didn't break." Outside, her father sat in a black car, watching from across the street. He didn't try to go in. He didn't need to, because deep down, even he knew she was never coming back. Ava walked off the stage, head high, past the flash of cameras, and into the next chapter she wrote by herself. And this time, no one else held the pen.